Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of the Coach My Life Volume 3 pre-launch. Listen, I am so excited about tonight because we have so much in store for you. So I hope that you are just as excited as we are. We are here with our fantabulous, amazing career coach, Dr. Toya Sherman, who's going to share some fantastic information with us on today. So I hope that you are just as ready as I am. Listen, if you had the opportunity to rock out with us on yesterday, then listen, you are in for a treat on today. So if you are joining us, make sure you share this on your timeline. Make sure you share this out. Make sure you're tagging someone who can benefit from the information that we're going to share and talk about on tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about purpose in your corporate position, purpose in your professional position. And I'm super excited about it because we have so many different people who feel like, they can't fulfill purpose because they're working their 9 to 5. And so I am excited to have this time with our amazing career coach who's going to come in and really help you ladies fine tune and have a better perspective and make better decisions and all of that good stuff. So while we are sharing out this broadcast, make sure you tag someone, make sure you invite someone to this live experience on tonight. We're going to spend some time talking and creating some dialogue so that we can better understand, number one, what a career coach is and what does Toya do in the coaching industry. So I'm excited about that. And then, of course, we have to make sure we talk about who her client is. Who is it Toya is designed to support? Who is it that she's supposed to help make sure that they are not only working in a position that is fulfilling purpose, but that they're getting the value out of the position, and that their employer is not taking advantage of that purpose. So listen, I'm excited. For those of you, if this is your first time joining us, this is day 2 of our Coach My Life Volume 3 Anthology pre-launch. Yesterday, we had an amazing time. We had a chance to talk about miscarriages and fatherlessness, and it was just such an amazing experience for myself and for many of the viewers. If you haven't had a chance to catch that replay, make sure you catch the replay and you check out Grief Coach Kamika Henson. Tonight, we are going to talk a little bit about career and purpose. And so listen, as you all are coming in, again, if you're catching this on replay, make sure you hashtag replay. We love to see all of our viewers coming back for the second time if you didn't get a chance to catch it live. So make sure you hashtag replay. And we're going to do things a little differently. Listen, if you are in your corporate career, if you're in your professional career, or maybe you're just in a standard 9 to 5 and you're trying to figure out, how can I fulfill purpose in my position? We want to make sure that you put that in the comments. We want to know if you're professionally in your purpose, put it in the comments. If you're in your corporate position in your purpose, put it in the comments. If you don't know, that's okay too. We want to hear from you. So listen, I am your vision coach, LaToya Early, and I help Christian female startup coaches discover and master their authentic message, massively increase their online visibility using their words, and monetize their coaching businesses through our on-demand coaching and content niche certification program. And so today, I'm excited because I get to have a good discussion with one of Chase Great's amazing coaches who has come into the community, rocking out, giving us all type of goodness. And so we're going to have a great night on tonight. So again, make sure you share this on your timeline. You never know who could benefit from this type of dialogue and this type of coaching support. So welcome, Dr. Toya. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you on this fantastic Tuesday?
I am great. Happy Tuesday. I'm super excited.
Happy
Like really
Tuesday.
pumped right now.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So listen, let's go ahead and kick off. I'm excited about our
All right.
discussion tonight, and I want to give you a chance to go ahead and open up the floor and tell us what type of coach you are and who do you
Okay.
serve?
Absolutely. So, as you already said, I am Dr. Toya and I am your career coach. I help women who are ready to elevate to that next level in their career and help them really identify their gifts in order to transition to their predestined purpose. And so how we do this is that I've started an organization called It's Possible LLC, because I truly believe that absolutely anything that you desire is possible with God. And especially when you're aligned and you have his purpose in mind for your life, because we were all created for something, right? So that's what we really focus on. But even within my organization, we look at two things. We focus on the typical career coaching type things, helping you with your resume, your cover letter, helping you get over the anxiety of interviewing, if you desire to stay within corporate America. But then we also look at those intangible things, and intangible things meaning that we encourage you. I almost want to say we kind of push you, quite a bit to really, really dig deep and hone in on some of those things that might be holding you back. And what I mean in those things is like your insecurities or even fears that you may be dealing with. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes our childhood trauma or previous work life trauma affects us in how we show up every day at work. Affects us in how we react to challenging circumstances at work, challenging people at work. And my goal is to really help change your mindset and use those things to help you launch into your next desired career, whether that's still staying in corporate America, higher education, or whatever it may be, whatever your it is. That's how we like to focus and try to really propel you into your purpose.
You know what? And I absolutely love this. One of the things that I love most about what you do, and you spoke about this, just how you're able to help not only really position those better in their profession or in their career, but helping them be positioned better with purpose and with confidence. I think that
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. And so, of course, I had the opportunity to read everyone's contribution to the project. And so just learning your story and hearing how you felt as you were elevating throughout your professional career and learning the type of position that you hold and what you do. It is so amazing how when Dr. Toya first joined the niche certification program, we were talking about how you were ready to really add more value to your position and what you do. And I just don't want to be stuck in this systematic way of doing my job. And so I just fell in love with it because it really showed that you can really operate in purpose, even in your professional space. So I want to open up this time for you to go ahead and share a quick synopsis with us about your chapter. What can the readers look for when they read more about you in the Coach My Life anthology?
Yeah. So when writing this, it was really eye-opening, even for me going through this process, because my chapter it really is a piece of me and a piece of my story. It is total transparency on how I really had to look inwardly in order to say, okay, these things that are happening, these very challenging and very interesting situations that are happening at work, and some of the people that I'm dealing with, it's like, okay, this is developing character in me. This is pushing me and showing me different things in areas that I still need to work on. And there was one particular incident that I talk about in the book that really pushed me to actually go to therapy. And a lot of people I know will probably read it like, what does that have to do with your career? And quite honestly, and I say it over and over again in the chapter, like it has everything to do with your career because of some other things that I was dealing with that I didn't even know were really there, that were lying dormant in me. It was affecting how I was showing up, how I was responding to these tough situations. I wasn't just going forward and doing what I know not only I learned to do in school, but what God had already placed in me. Sometimes I would shrink up and I was just like, no, I can't do it. Or I would shy away and try to go the easy route and look for things that were easier in certain assignments. But there was a particular assignment where I was literally just thrown in the fire, and sometimes in my profession that happens. I mean, I've been in HR almost 15 years. And a lot of people think of HR and they say, oh, you do payroll or, you handle benefits. Like, no, I deal with and I handle investigations and separations most of my career. So that's hard. That's not easy. It's a very, very tough job. And so a lot of the things that I dealt with and one situation in particular that I'm not going to get into. You have to get the book in order to kind of dive into it and really understand that experience. But it was just like, man, I wanted to blame the individual in this situation. But when I went to therapy, it was so interesting because I will be forever be grateful for this woman operating in her gift, because she just stared at me as if she was staring through me. And it was like, yeah, you want to talk about him, but going on that you're not dealing with. And by doing that, by really digging into it through all the tears and the pain and even the embarrassment, I was like, wow, I am really in a tough spot, mentally, just within myself. And I need to address this for my personal life, but also for my career.
I love that. And I can't wait because Dr. Toya is going to come during our virtual book launch, which is December 5th. If you have not registered for the virtual book launch December 5th at 11 a.m., make sure you register. We're going to talk about 5 ways to win in a pandemic. And so this right here, what she's talking about, is going to be crucial during the book launch. And I'm excited about the training because I'm already ready to ask, like, so what tips can you give? What strategies can you offer? Like, what can you do? Because I know so many women, I'm watching it, and they're having to pivot in their careers like never before. Some of them are forced to work from home. That whole work from home environment, when you're used to being in an office, when you're used to being in the world, learning how to reposition, learning how to add value to your position when you're not face to face. There is such a different way that you show up when you're virtual, when you're remote, than it is when you're at home. And even for you, you've had to consistently still work in this environment. So I listen, I am excited about the virtual launch. If you have not registered for the virtual launch, the link is in the comments. I want you to go ahead and take the opportunity right now. If you have not registered for the virtual book launch, the link is in our caption. Click the link, register for the virtual launch. Make sure you get your copy of this book, because she done already told you she's not going to tell you all her secrets on this live, and she's not going to tell you all her secrets during the training. So you have to make sure you get the book. So listen, while we're talking about the chapter and what the chapter includes, who is this chapter for?
It's really for women that are stuck or feel stuck in their career, women that are really trying to figure out what's next. I think that, early in my career, I was just going with the flow, working whatever, whenever I needed to in order to gain that experience. And then I reached this point where I'm like, this isn't fulfilling anymore. This isn't really hitting and honing in all those people and not allowing me to reach those people that I know I need to reach. So it's really for those individuals that are like, man, I'm in this spot where I don't really know what I want to do, or they're in that spot where they may have changed jobs, they may have gotten the promotion, but somewhere along this line, it still feels familiar. Because I can say that I've been in that situation where I went from position to position or from one company to the next company, and find myself in this space where I'm like, this is still familiar. I've already been here. I've already been through this. And instead of getting bored and, packing a box, keeping it underneath my desk, waiting for the next opportunity to come up, I've had to say, wait, let me take a step back and really retrain my mind to look for those things within this that God is trying to show me, and the things that he's trying to push in me and say, no, you need to deal with this. No, I need you to have more confidence here. No, I need you to work on your presentation skills and get used to going live on Facebook and getting in front of people. So it was those things that I really had to take a step back and say, wait a minute, this is my opportunity, versus looking at it as a hindrance, or I hate my job, I don't want to go to work today, or I can't stand my supervisor. And it happens. But instead of looking at it like that, really retraining my own mind to say, no, how can I use this to really grow and really get me to that next level? So it's really for those people to really kind of reshape your mind and look at your situations, and not all situations, because some things happen at work that are unethical, that do need to be taken to HR, that do need to be dealt with. But there are those things that are tests that God is like, look, I'm trying to see what you're going to do here in this situation. Can you get past this so I can take you here so that I can see if I can trust you? If I can trust you with this little bitty thing, then yeah, I can trust you with that much more. So it's really that piece in trying to get them to understand that. So it was my way with that chapter of sharing just a portion of some of the things that I've been through in my career and some of the things that I had to deal with myself internally, and as well as some external things, but some of those things that, helped me to get to that next level. And so that's who it's really targeting, those women that are ready to take that next step. They may feel stuck. They may feel like they're in this forever going cycle. Just buy the book, take a read, and hopefully it helps you change that mindset.
Absolutely. So listen, if you know someone, we all know someone. If I could tag someone right now, I could tag quite a few people who feel stuck in their current position. They feel stuck in their profession. They're amazing women. They're brilliant at what they do. They offer so much quality and so much value to the corporation, but they feel stuck. If you know that type of woman, I want you to tag them in this live. Go ahead, go through your friends list and tag them in this, because this just may be what they need to really catapult them into greater. What I've learned since being in this whole pandemic, and we're in Michigan, so we just received some information that we're back on pause for a minute or two. And so what I'm learning is that we have to be innovative in this season.
Yep.
We have to figure out, okay, what is it that God has for me? One of the things that you just said was, instead of getting annoyed, instead of getting
Yep.
frustrated, figure out, okay, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What are you
Yep.
trying to show me? What do I need to do? How can I adjust in this area, and how can I pivot? How
Yep.
many employers are waiting for you to show up because you're a genius in a particular area, but because we don't value our value, we struggle with showing up and presenting ourselves, right?
Yep. Yep.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah. And you have to dig in, you have to address those things, because if you don't, that cycle is going to continue. You're going to continually find yourself in that same situation. The circumstances might be a little different, the supervisor might be different, the company might be different, but there you're going to find those same similarities of the same issues that you still have because you didn't deal with it, a couple of years ago. So you're going to keep going around your mountain until you finally get it and do what
Mm-hmm.
you can and surrender to try to fix it.
And just to kind of piggyback on that, it's so ironic how parents, and this is for you parents, we say, I want to do better for my children. I want to make sure that my children don't follow down this same path, or they don't do the same things. Understand that the only way for us to teach our children better is if we do better first. You
Yep.
can teach your children to their blue in the face to not to do something or to follow a particular path, but the
Yeah.
generational curse isn't broken until you decide to break it. So I absolutely love it. So in your chapter, what
Mhm.
problem would you solve if you were to generalize the problem that you solve for your reader? What problem would you solve?
To say the problem that I saw. So, for example, like I said, the chapter really forces you to dig deep. So and when I say dig deep, meaning that going beyond that surface or really looking at the root cause of some issues that you may be dealing with. So, for me personally, as I was going through my career, I realized like I had issues with abandonment. And so that then led to anxiety. It led to all kinds of things. It
Wow.
was a snowball effect into so many other things, and it kept just growing. So the more I was growing in my career, on this side, like, oh, here I am, the doctor, here I am working for this Fortune 500 company, here I am doing this and that. This snowball of things, just because of I was dealing with the abandonment. Well, it was there, but I wasn't,
Wow.
but it was there. So it just snowballed and it kept growing and growing into other things, low self-esteem, the anxiety and everything. So that's really the problem that I hope this chapter is able to help people solve. To really dig deep within themselves to see what is that root thing that's holding me back. Because for me, you may be saying, well, what does abandonment really have to do with your career? It affects so many things, because that was just the root, and it just started to sprout up, various things. So it's like, when I think about it from a standpoint of struggling with the low self-esteem, like I wouldn't try to go after, certain jobs, or I wouldn't speak up in meetings, because I won't say I was afraid, but I was just like, wow, what is that person going to think? If I say this, what are they going to say? Or, oh, am I going to say the wrong thing? And, I finally got to a point where I'm like, well, whatever, if I say the wrong thing, I'll just fix it later. So it's like just, you have to work through those things and really put yourself, out there. So if I had to just define it into one thing, it's really getting to that root cause, or that root issue of whatever it is that might be holding you back, and whatever that fear may be that's keeping you from catapulting forward into your purpose.
You are giving us so much. Oh my goodness. I love talking about the root.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, because I don't think people understand how
Yeah.
important that is, and how much it plays a huge role in who you become. And so
Yeah.
that whole abandonment, some of the women may be struggling with the low self-esteem, the lack of
Yeah.
confidence, the
Yeah.
rejection. All of these things we may think we pushed up under the rug, or
Yeah.
I don't deal with them anymore. Listen, if you
Yeah.
don't get to the root of these issues,
It will
you will find
always come back to the surface.
absolutely, absolutely,
Always. It's even with
absolutely.
the, abandonment piece, it was really with the relationship with my birth father. And so
Wow.
in my mind, I had forgiven him. We talked and I was good, so in my head, no, I'm straight. I'm that's not an issue for me anymore. But as I began to go on, I realized, like, no, you still, that was just a band-aid. You covered that scar up with a band-aid, but underneath it, it was still bleeding. And I didn't even realize
Mm-hmm,
it was still bleeding
mm-hmm.
until some other things that had happened, because it, that issue of abandonment also kind of, it pushed me in a good way in some sense, but it pushed me to do all this stuff to almost make people accept me. And it was like, I feel like I have to do this, I have to achieve this, I have to do all these things in order for people to accept me. And so it was still a form of me showing out because of this issue. And I didn't even realize it. So it definitely impacts you a lot. And like you said, it's something that will just lie dormant. And then all of a sudden it'll just rise to the surface. So you have to deal with it, because it affects you in your personal life, and it will spill over into your career. We spend so much time working, it has to show up. It's it can't stay hidden.
And this is one of the things that I absolutely love about what career coach Dr. Toya does in her business. And this is several things that we focus on in the niche certification program. I'm a strong believer in who God has called us to become. Man, we only limit ourselves based off of our limited thinking, our self-sabotaging, our doubt, our mindset. But when you can connect with a coach who can help you pull things from the root so that you can clear the space and clear the way. How many times have you spoken with professionals or people who want to support you in your career, and you never take the time to get to those deep-rooted issues? Who would have ever thought that their father issues would have anything to do with them being able to show up in their profession? And so
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I absolutely love, is because as a coach, Dr. Toya can really help you fine tune some of those areas, get to the root. We want you to succeed in your profession. We want you to go after those positions. But if you don't have someone offering the proper strategies to help clear all of that trash and all of that debris, then you're going to constantly find yourself buried under burden, emotions, resentment, and you won't even know why. I absolutely love this. So here's my question, and I know you've answered this in your chapter, and I love it, but I just want you to give the viewers and the readers just a little bit. What do or why would you say you wanted to share this particular message with the world?
say I wanted to share this, and for me, it was, I don't want to say it was difficult, but it was really unveiling because there's some things, and it's like I said, I went to therapy. No one outside of my husband and my mom know that. So it was something that I really began to really just open up. And, part of the reason why I wanted to share this is because I truly believe that we go through different things in life and we survive different things in life, but not for ourselves, it's for other people and to really help other people. And one of the things that I realize is that I authentically love to see women win. I love seeing women win. And as a Black woman, we go through so much as a woman in general, but we go through so much. We see the things in the world, we hear the things in the media, and it's so much pressure on us. And so I wanted to be able to share something to say, look, these are the things you have to deal with or go through some things, looking at yourself, looking at your circle of friends, changing your mindset, and all of these different things in order to set yourself up for you to win. And so I think going through this process, was it easy? Nope. Did it hurt? Yep. Did I cry? Yep. Did I have to let people go? Absolutely. But it was a part of that process and a part of the process that I really had to embrace in order to get to that next level. So sharing this, really honestly sharing a piece of me, sharing a piece of my story in order to help someone else is what I believe is a part of my purpose. Because it's true, it's authentic, it's real. And I think that anyone reading it will be able to truly relate to it. Even writing this, I remember I have a really good friend who will tell me like it is, and I appreciate it. And I asked her for submitting it. I'm like, I need you to read this. And when she gave me feedback, she said it was like reading my own life story. And I was able to pull different nuggets from it and incorporate it in my life now. And so that for me sealed the deal where I'm like, okay, I'm not changing a thing. And that's what I want from it. That's the purpose of it. And I really, really hope that it impacts someone. Even if it's just one, then I've done my job.
I love that. One of the things that we focus on, in our community is learning about your ideal client. And so for you to have, a good girlfriend of yours read this manuscript and say, oh my gosh, I was able to see pieces of me in this read. That is our overall goal. Our goal when it comes to sharing our story, we want to relate to women and say, listen, I know that your mind tells you that you're the only one that go through this, but you're not. You're not. There's so
No.
many other women who have the same hiccups in the same areas. And so
Yep.
to connect with a coach who can relate to those type of experiences and who can provide strategy to help you maneuver in those type of experiences is just something that is just an amazing thing to have. So what I want to, moving on to the next question, and I want to open up the floor for, we have quite a few people chiming in and leaving comments. So if you have any questions for Dr. Toya, please feel free to drop them in the comments. If you see me looking over, I got 13 devices going on, just making sure that I'm able to see, who's commenting and who has questions. So if you have any questions for Dr. Toya on tonight, make sure you jot them down in the comments. Whether or not you are catching us live or you are catching us on replay, we will be here to support you in answering your questions. So one of the things that I would love for you to share with the audience is, how has this experience been? Let me tell y'all, Dr. Toya reached out to me maybe early 2019, and she's like, no, 2020, I'm sorry, early 2020. And
Well, yeah,
she's
it was
like,
early 2020.
early 2020, okay.
Yep.
And she's like, okay, I'm ready. I want to be a coach. This is what I want to do. We get on our call. I'm like, okay, you ready? She ready. Some
But
time passed. So
wait.
this,
I met you like, oh my gosh, in what, 2016, 20 somewhere. I don't even remember if I was done with my master's when we met, but it was a long time
wow.
when I first met you because our dear friend Misha, the
Yes.
event planner, I met you at her event, and I think we talked once, and I was like, no, I'm not ready. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And truly, I was in it.
That's so good.
Yep. So, yep, 2020 of this, it was like January of this year is when I,
Yeah, absolutely. I call Misha my millionaire friend. So,
yeah,
we be
that's
talking about her. Listen,
millionaire friend.
that's our millionaire friend. Okay. And so when we talk, you're like, okay, I'll be ready in May, right? And so I was excited because of her story and what she wanted to do. But we didn't know that the pandemic was coming. We didn't know that our world was going to be flipped upside down. And Dr. Toya still invested in her business. She still took the time to move forward in the assignment that she know God had called her to. And so just in that space for my coaches, for those of you who are aspiring to become coaches, don't let this season shift you where it takes you away from the dream. This is the season that you should be planting and reaping in the same season. This is the time
Absolutely.
where coaches are needed like never before. So I want to take this time and give Dr. Toya the opportunity just to share her experience overall with being a
Yeah.
part of the NIC certification program with Chase Great and being a part of this anthology, because this is Dr. Toya's first book. And so that's so exciting.
So, I'm glad that you asked me that question, because I was going to ask you, like, before we log off, like, I have to share this, because this experience has truly been life altering for me. And I say that because, becoming a coach, becoming a career coach, I've talked to people about this and said this is what I wanted to do for years. And, starting this in May, I mean, from May until now, really from May until to like maybe early October, I mean, you've given me tools and shared different things with me and really, really pushed me to start the business, register the business, preparing the logo, getting the website done, all these things literally in about 6 months. And so I go back and I look at that. I mean, and don't forget pricing and marketing and all these different things and the anthology. And so every time I look back, and I'm very visual. So I have the tendency to go back to the calendar and I'm like, okay, wait, when did I start? When did I do this? And it helps me realize, like, wow, you've done a lot in such a short period of time. But joining your program, just working with you and how you pray for us, you push us, you see things in us that we have yet to even see in ourselves. Every other coach can't do that. And so your spirit, your tenacity, just how professional you are, it has truly been an amazing experience, and one that I will forever be grateful for, because I know for a fact, if I had not joined this program, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have started the business. I wouldn't have all these different things in place to do like an official launch for the business, because you have really pushed me and challenged me in ways where I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And you're like, yeah, but you're going to do it. So it has truly, and I mean, I say that with all sincerity, it has been absolutely amazing. And so when I think about even going through the anthology, like I said, you gave us a tight deadline. You're like, yep, this is how long you have. This is when I need it. This is the format. Here you go. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how is this going to happen? And keep in mind, not only during a pandemic, I'm still, working full time. And during that pandemic, because of the profession that I'm in, with COVID cases and things like that, I'm who they call. So I'm getting calls at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I have people that work various shifts and various hours. So I'm getting these calls at all hours of the night. So all of this is going on. And even before, saying, yep, I'm in, here's my application, I'm doing it. I remember talking to my husband and like, okay, there's all this stuff going on right now. Like, I'm working 7 days a week, nonstop. How am I going to actually commit to this for my business? And he's like, you have to do it. And I mean, that was just like it. He's like, you have to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'll figure it out. And that's what happened. But I think that even in that, it's like God makes room. He like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what I need for you to do. I'm going to make room. And you have really, really pushed that. Take your time, do this many hours in a day. Don't push it all, into one setting. So I think that every time I looked at other coaching programs or, other people that identify themselves as a coach, I can't, there's no comparison to me in my eyes one, because of the spiritual foundation and that background that you have. And like I said, you pray for us before every session that we have, whether it's a group session or individual session. And then not only that, there's a community of women, and all we want to do is see each other win. I mean, we push each other, we help one another. Heck, I text Kamika about, what was PayPal. So I was like, girl, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, I need you to help me. And she was like, oh, just do this, just do that. So we have you, and we have this support system of women that truly just want to see us win. It's like we really are there for one another. We're praying for one another. And it's amazing. So this experience, like I said, has truly been life altering. And it's one that I'll never forget. And I hope that I can continue to do some of the things that you have done for me. I hope that I can impart and do for other people. So my long-winded way of saying, I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad that despite the pandemic, despite health things and things that I was going through within my body, I was like, no, I still have to do this. So I am truly and forever grateful. So I encourage any coach that's out there that's trying to launch their business, or, teetering, like, what do I do? Do I join the program? Do I not? Do I invest this? Absolutely. Invest in yourself, because this is definitely a self-investment that's going to change your life and ultimately change someone else's, because there are people that are waiting on us to show up and really step up and walk in our purpose. And if we don't do that, then what are they going to do? So I commend you, and I thank you for being committed to your purpose and truly stepping out on faith and just being there for us.
Oh my gosh. I think we could just, end this here and tell everyone good night. No,
Yes.
I appreciate that. I so appreciate that. And what I love about what you just said is, first, just I appreciate you. But the fact that you share how busy your schedule is, how and we all get wrapped up in this, I'm just too busy. And so
Mhm.
once a person start to question whether or not they're too busy, my rebuttal or my response is, are you too busy to help someone else break free?
Mhm.
The last thing I want to do, and I use this as an example all the time, the last thing I want to do is stand before Judgment Day, right? And I'm
Yeah.
excited, like, all right, Lord, all right, and then he rolls out this is my own visual, y'all. He rolls out this long scroll of
Just
all
start
of the
rolling on the
names,
floor.
and it started just rolling on the floor, and it's all of the names of the people that were waiting for me to show up so that they
Yeah.
could break free from their bondage and live out the purpose that God called them to do.
Yeah.
Won't be on my hands, won't be
Yeah.
me. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that, and I appreciate you sharing how you listen. I'll be on Toya like, excuse me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know you're at work, but how long, when you gonna give your business some time? And so I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing, that you have had a busy schedule. You are, very needed in your corporate space, but you've still given the people who need you some time. And I appreciate that. And
Mhm.
because of that, there's going to be women, just as I've supported you, you're going to support other women. And I'm excited
Amen.
about it. I'm talking about in levels, on levels, in ways that you have never imagined,
Mm.
because for whatever reason we have this tunnel vision of what support or what service look like. So we think that, oh, I'm going to do some one-on-ones, and I'm going to, help them do their, and I'll never forget, she's like, I'm going to help them do their resumes. I'm like, girl, you're going to do more. That's not even the tip of the iceberg. Okay, the
Right.
resume portion is like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna help you do your resume as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But the group of women that you're going to support, the corporate companies that are going to call you in to train their team so that they can be better prepared, and like, it's just, I can keep going on and on. But I appreciate that, because there are so many women who are, as you just stated, going back and forth trying to
Yeah.
decide, and if anything, I want you to decide for the people you're called to serve. So thank you for that. Thank you for encouraging them in that space.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're going to, how long have we? Oh, we've been doing good. We're doing good. Okay, okay.
You
So we're
good?
going to go ahead and wrap some things up, because listen, I want to make sure that you register for our live virtual book launch on December 5th. We're going to talk about 5 ways to win during a pandemic. Okay. And so it's so ironic that I don't like using the word pandemic or COVID in my marketing. Like, that's just not, because I don't ever want anyone to feel like I'm playing off of the state of our nation, to put us push something or promote something. But when I talk to my husband about this and I look at the different coaches that have contributed to the project, I said it only makes sense.
Yeah.
I said there are women who are struggling in their professions. We had grief coach Kamika on yesterday, who works with miscarriages and infant loss. There are women who had these issues in their lives over the past 8 months, and they didn't have anyone to love on them. They didn't have anyone to
Yeah.
support them. People
Yeah.
pivoting in their careers, and they don't know what to do because they've been so conditioned to a certain way of living or working for so long. Tomorrow we have renovation coach Diana coming on, and she's going to talk about building that relationship with your daughter and forgiving your children's father. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's
Oh
going to
my
be
gosh.
awesome. That's going to
Oh
be
my gosh. Right. And so these are all issues that everyone has had to face to face over the past several months. You've had to
Yep.
be home with children and look your child dead in the face that looks like the father who may not be present. So
Yep.
now you have to work through your forgiveness issues.
Yep.
We have women who's pivoting in their professions and women who may be suffering traumatically from miscarriage and infant loss. What a
Yep.
fantastic way to go and end out 2020 with sharing strategies and training you on how you can still win. It is not too late, ladies. It's not too late. So listen, it looks like we've had quite a few comments. Let's look at them for a quick second.
Okay.
We have Miss Erica saying that this is an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica. We appreciate you. We have Miss Dora, which is another one of our co-authors. She's going to join us on Friday. I don't even know. We just make sure everybody has some tissue for her,
Oh
because
God.
the
Can't wait
way
to see
that
her.
so just be ready for that, okay? Make sure
She's
everyone sets
amazing.
their she is. So set your alarms. We are going for the rest of the week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue to interview those who are a part of this anthology. It looks like that someone is interested in the NIT certification program. Please,
Yep.
please inbox me, message me. I'm going to put a link in the comment. I'll reach out to you personally to share more information with you. The certification program is open to the end of this month. After November 30th, we'll be closing out enrollment until 2021. So I'll definitely be reaching out to you to provide you with that information. And so before we end, of course, I want to ask Dr. Toya to share something with us. I'm excited because I've never seen Dr. Toya live on social media. So this is quite
Nope.
interesting. This is quite interesting. But I would love for you to share with us. Give us 3 things
Mm-hmm.
that we cannot Google about you. Tell us a little about you.
Oh, 3 things that you can't Google about me. I am I'm the oldest child. I have a younger brother. And I don't think you can Google that about me. I mean, it might be like my friends know, but I don't think you can Google that about me. Oh goodness. What else can't you Google about me? I'm not going to say terrified, but I am not friends with spiders of any size.
Okay.
Of any size. Thank God for my husband. And gosh, what else? Man, there's so much about my story that I want to share. I'm not quite ready to share it yet.
You're not ready yet?
No, I can't share that part yet. Not just yet. I mean, there's a lot, but there's this one part that I don't know. It may come out on December 5th, but man, I'm gonna have to come back to you on that last one. I don't know what else.
Okay. Now, Kamika did me like this last night. She's like, I don't know. So this is why you ladies have to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are joining us for the virtual book launch. I just dropped the link in the comments for you to go ahead and click the link and register. This is why you need to make sure that you are joining us for the virtual book launch, because Dr. Toya owes us another fun fact about her that we can't Google. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry,
now her
my best friend is on it. She just said that I can dance my tail off. Yeah,
can you?
yeah,
Now see, I'm shocked.
really? You know,
Yes.
I mean, I can dance, but I used to do liturgical when I was at my home church back in Detroit,
Cool.
and you know, took a few ballet classes and things like that. So I can dance, like real dance. So see
now there's the three.
Thank you, best friend.
Thank you, best friend, because I would have never ever known that. That is so awesome. I absolutely love that. That's so cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Containing myself because I chair dance a lot, so I haven't done any of that on this call. But
I can't help it. I used to try to, be nice. No, I talk with my hands. I move around. I make facial expressions. It's over. I quit. So listen, I absolutely love it. Make sure you connect with our career coach, Chase Great's career coach, Dr. Toya Sherman. Please share with your viewers how can they connect with you if they're looking for a coach to help them elevate today. How can they contact you?
You can definitely reach out to me at info@itspossiblellc.com. You can also just reach out to me via Facebook on my private page, or I also have a business page as well, It's Possible LLC. Those are some great ways to reach me. And, it's definitely a good time because I am still in this process of where I'm gathering and still, I'm an official, definitely certified coach, but I'm still gathering and still learning and still doing all these different things this year to be able to offer the best services possible. So definitely feel free to reach out to me. We can connect and talk and see how I can be of service to you.
Absolutely. I absolutely love it. Make sure you click the link. You join us for our virtual book launch. Make sure you purchase your copy of the Coach My Life Volume 3 Anthology. Join me on tomorrow. We're going to go live once again tomorrow, day 3 of our pre-launch with renovation coach Diana English. And she's going to talk about the matters of the heart, how single moms must forgive their children's fathers, so that not only they can build better relationships with their children, but so that they can teach their children how to forgive and how to love. So make sure you join us. If you know anyone who could benefit from this, I know quite a few moms who should probably come on and chime on in on tomorrow. But if you know anyone who can benefit, make sure you share this broadcast with them. Make sure you check out the link. If you are interested in becoming Chase Great certified in your niche, make sure you reach out to us. We have a free community available. We have content available. And again, we are closing enrollment at the end of this month. Thank you so much for joining me on this fantastic night, Dr. Toya. We appreciate you. This has been amazing. The Toyas had a good night on tonight.
Toyas had a good night.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic night, everyone, and be blessed.
Bye.